Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be making a beginner clay slab, and I'm going to show you how to make the slab and how to make a pair of earrings using the slab. So what I did was I rolled out my Primo clay to my number 3. So that's my 4th thickest setting on my pasta machine. If you do not have a pasta machine, that is the thickness you are going to want. Then I chose 5 clay colors. So I have a dark pink, a light pink, a dark purple, and a light purple, and then a blend of purple and pink together. I blended this a while ago, so unfortunately I can't show you, but I'm pretty sure it was like half and half of the dark and light, and then half of the light purple, and then it made this color. Grab a flower cutter. It does not have to be any specific one, whatever you have laying around, as long as it is a small flower cutter. And then start cutting out your flowers. Now, I'm not going to need as many as I punched out, but I'm just going to kind of go with 6. And then whatever I use, and whatever I don't, you know, it's not a big deal. I just put it back into my clay slab. You're going to leave one pink or one color that of your choosing alone. Leave that alone. Then you're just going to take your little flowers and start laying them down. And it doesn't have to be any specific way. Just lay them down. We are going to end up burnishing our clay. So all these pieces will become flat with our white clay, which is really cool. Okay, so now I have those down. So now I'm going to take my other clay slab, and then I'm going to take my Sculpey tool here, and I'm going to start just knocking out some of my little dots. I want to make little dots to put on my clay slab. All right, so I'll stop there for now. And then what I am going to do is take some parchment paper. This is just like deli paper that I bought. So parchment paper, deli paper, whatever you have laying on hand, and just rub that. Get it on there nice, and then we're going to burnish it. So burnishing means making your pieces flat and that everything is the same level. So grab a tool, and it could be any tool. It could be like a soap. They call this like a metal soap or something like that. I think it's like metal soap or something. Or you could get your roller, you know, anything that you have laying around that works for you. And then just burnish your piece. And don't press down so hard that you're mushing your clay in a funky way. You want to keep it nice and level and just go smoothly. And you'll feel as it starts going down. All right, now just get my rolling pin. And then I'm just going to go over it. Lift it up. And you can see that it's all starting to get nice and flat. I'm just going to go over a couple little areas that I see are still a little puckered up. And then I have these cutters that I helped design from Aussie craft cutters. And I'm going to use these because I thought they matched up perfect with this little metal one that I had laying around. And I'm going to cut out 4 earrings. Okay. And then we can cut out little toppers if we want. And I'm going to use the smaller cutter. Let me go with, I'm going to try to go with the same colors that, I really want a blend of the same color. So I got to kind of play around here and see what I could come up with. Okay. I get my long flex blade. If you ever get like a edge here from not pushing down hard enough, just take your X-Acto knife and clean it up, and it comes right off and it'll be good. All right, so now what I am going to do is I'm actually going to chop this all up, and I am going to make a blend with this one because I am starting to use up all my scrap clay. I'm tired of kind of just building it up. If you could see how much scrap clay I have, you would be blown away. It's almost crazy how much I have. So I'm trying to start using everything that I have laying around at this point. And I am going to, let me clean this up real quick. They have one that has a little rough edge. And I always want to make sure I'm cleaning up anything on the parts that are really hard to get to. Otherwise, you kind of struggle sanding those areas. Just smooth out my edges. And if you smooth out your edges right away, it's great because then it's less sanding. So all you have to do is kind of push them in a little bit and smooth them. All right, so I want to grab what is called fairy dust. This is just glitter. And I just want to put a little bit in my clay here. Let me mix that all up. And by putting the glitter on, not only will you get a beautiful sparkle, but it'll help break up all these pieces so you can really blend them together nicely. All right. Now, let's mush this together. Let me put the lid on this because I can see me accidentally dropping that or spilling it. And let's make a block. And then I'll clean up my glitter here. And then let's cut this. And let's do that. Okay. I'm going to run this through my pasta machine at a number, let's see, a number 3. So I keep the same thickness. I just want to make sure my sides are together real well. I'm going to run it through one time. And then we got that real nice slab. And grab my sponge. This will give me a nice texture on my pieces. And then I will cut out another pair of earrings. Let me take this a little bit off. I have stuff on my sponge. And I don't want it on my piece. There we go. And then I got these earrings. So there's a lot you could do with your little scraps. Put those off to the side. And now I'm going to blend those up and see what we can get. And now I have this beautiful color just by blending all those colors together. So let me actually roll this out to my number 3. And then what I am going to do is cut that one out. Cut this one out. And then, oops, I'll have this left over, which I'm okay with. I could use that at a later date. I'll just add that to my pink pile. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out my little hearts, or my little flowers here. And then I'm going to take some of my little heat sealed beads here. Put that right in the middle. And then let's go around this area. So when these bake in the oven, these little faux gemstones will actually stay on the piece because they will seal right to the clay. And then when they're done baking in the oven, we'll come back. I'll wait till they completely cool off, and then I'll show you how to finish these off for earrings. So in here, you'll see it's like a little bumpy. Just take your tool and smooth it out. Now I have all Primo clay, so it's going to be 275. I'll bake them at recommended temperature and time, and then we'll pop back on. All right, guys, so I have a lot going on here. All my pieces are out of the oven. I kind of jumped ahead on some of the things, but I'm going to show you how I did certain ones. So with these, I put these together. Look how cute they came out. I love these. All I did was put resin on top of them, and then I put these little silver beads on top. Or they're not beads, whatever they are, little embellishments, I guess you could call them. But I just wanted to add something a little bit more. And then I embedded the post. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I just put them together. So beautiful pair of earrings. So that is one kind that you can do with that slab. When we blended all the colors together, we got this particular one. And what I did was I ended up putting resin on the top of here. I added a little bit more glitter. And then the back, I did in a different color glitter, and I think this came out great. One of the things I like about this is what you can do is you could take this top piece off and just hang like a fish hook on and wear it on this side. So it could be a double-sided earring if you chose to do that, and I love that. So I'm going to show you how to do that one. And then these, I kind of went ahead, did some, and or drilled them. I didn't do anything with these yet. And these I'm going to make into studs. So let's work on this one first. I already sanded everything down. The next thing I want to do is drill a hole in my piece. So I want to make sure that my earrings are kind of laying mirrored from each other. So that way I know they'll be mirrored. And then I'm just going to take my drill and I'm going to go right to the top and drill my hole. If you are one that is just starting out and you're worried about drilling a hole in the same place each time, take a little marker and mark your spots and you'll get the same area each time. And then I went with this little section here. Also, when you're drilling, you want to make sure that you're holding your drill down tightly. This way it doesn't slip and slide on you. I'm going to get my little pad here. And we're going to do the back first. Let me just get some of this cleaned up a bit. So I like to use these little paper cups because then I could throw my leftovers away afterwards. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of resin in here. And I just go partially up because I'm only doing one earring. And then I'm going to take my glitter. And this is ultra fine glitter. I love this stuff. It is wonderful. I mean, really, really beautiful glitter. And I like these little sticks. They're very easy to use. And you can throw these away too if you don't want to clean anything. Just stir up your glitter. Make sure it's all blended into your UV resin nicely. And then I'm going to start putting it on. And if you kind of make a little mess, take a wipey and just wipe it. I like to take a little poker tool and I'll hold my piece down and then I'll spread my resin. And I go right to the edge. If you use one of these like silicone mats that I have my pieces on, that UV resin will harden and you can peel it right off, which is super nice. So you're not destroying your stuff. I love these flowers. They're so cute. You could do so many neat things with them. I'll leave links in the description area to things that I'm using, just in case you want to grab anything. If I do forget certain things and you're wondering where I got it, just message me on YouTube and I'll answer you as soon as I see it. I'm usually pretty good at making sure that I answer everybody. I'm putting this on pretty thick because I want that glitter to really show. Now you'll see I'm going around that hole. I am going to make sure not to get so close to the hole that my resin fills up the hole. I want to make sure no resin gets in that hole. If I do get it, I can clean it off the front side by doing a quick sand job. And that's why I didn't resin the front first. Now I like to just add a little extra on my edges so my resin doesn't pull away from the edge. You want to make sure you have enough on there, otherwise your edges just don't look full and clean. And this is the only area that I don't go crazy with. It's where the hole is. Okay. And then let's get, oh, I'm sorry. What I want to do for this is I'm going to put my my post in here as well. So let me get my glitter mostly on here. Let me hold this down. I'm going to see exactly where I put the other one, right towards the middle. And then I will take my post. I'll set that right in there. Make sure that's there. And then I'll add glitter right around that post. Now, if you know somebody has like a resin issue, don't do this one. Do the next thing that I'm going to show you, which is embed your post. If you are one that doesn't have any issues with resin, then go ahead and do it this way. And I'm just going to make sure that's exactly where I want it. Okay. Take your lighter, pop any bubbles that may be in there. Double check your stuff, make sure everything is to the edges where you want it, and then put it under your light for about 5 minutes. While that is under the light, I'm going to show you quickly how to embed your post. So what I'd like to do is I'll get my super glue. Let me make sure these are exactly how I want them. I'm going to match these up the best that I can. There, about that. Okay. Put a tiny dot of glue right where you want your post. And then stick your post on. And let that dry. Get a thin piece of clay. I'm going with white because the back is white. And then get your little circle cutter that is going to go right over that post size. You don't need it going over a ton, just enough to cover your post. My glue is dry. I'm going to get my liquid clay adhesive. Now, I have heard you don't need to use the clay adhesive. I have always used clay adhesive when I'm embedding my stuff because I feel like it's 100% secure that way. So that is my preference. And you can see I'm just putting a little bit on there. I'm going to wipe off anything extra. I'm going to take it, go right in the middle. Push that on. And then I have this new tool here, which is pretty cool. You stick your little post in there. And then 1, 2, 3. And your piece is embedded. So simple, simple, simple. Now, if you want, you could take it and smear it out and blend your clay right with the back. And then it's all looks like one piece. Everything is hidden. And there. Beautiful. Now, if you don't want to mush it out like I just did, you could just leave it the way it was and it'll work perfect as well. And then you are going to bake this for the half hour that Sculpey recommends at the 275, and then you can use it and you have your stud earrings. All right, pieces are dry. They look beautiful. Now I'm going to do the backs. I'm going to use my little stud puck again just to hold my piece in place. And I'm going to get my UV resin. It's the same thing. I just have it in a brush. And then I'm going to just brush the top. Always make sure that hole is open. I just got little blue glitter on that. There we go. And then I'm going to take some of my white glitter here. Get my little tool wet, stick it in there, and then I'm just going to go right over my piece and add just a little bit more glitter. And that's it. That one will be ready to cure. This one, yeah. There we go. I'm going to put this one on thicker. Go right over. I want this to have a little bit more resin because it's going to be easier to move my glitter around on this big piece if I have a little bit more resin than just a very, very thin coat. All right. And I just do the same thing. Stick it in and just rub it in circles. Go around and spread that spread that little white fairy dust glitter around. I love these glitter. Oh, these ultra fine glitters are absolutely wonderful for clay, for resin. I mean, I'm telling you, I love these. Every time I see a new one come out, I want to grab it. And then I have to play with it. And this is a new one for me. I haven't used this one yet, so I had to do it today. All right, now I can see I got resin in that hole. So what I am going to do is I'm going to wipe my tool here, and I'm just going to stick my tool right in that hole, and I'm going to pop that resin hole in there. And now go over it one time with your lighter, and now stick it underneath your light. All right, my pieces are cured. Look how beautiful that is. Is that not gorgeous? I love these. These are so pretty. So now what you got to do next is get your jump rings, 2 pairs of pliers, and very simply open that jump ring up, and you're just going to connect them and close them up. So there you go. Look how gorgeous that is. I love this. So we now have our 2 fronts and backs together. I think they're just beautiful. I love them. This cutter is fabulous. I just think it is a really, really fun piece. So that is 2 pairs now with 1 slab. Now remember, this is when we blended everything together. So we have our flower slab that we added the little pieces on. We have all our colors blended together to give us this gorgeous color, and then have the back done. So I love the backs, just gorgeous. That color and the pink, these colors go really, really nice together. This one, I want to keep this just the way it is. Not go, crazy with it. I want to show you how you could just do a simple, quick little earring. And all you're going to do is get your jump rings. I like to use these little fish hook ones, and then I just take the bottom and I turn them. This way, if I do that, I don't have to add a second jump ring. Now, I will tell you, if you do this, you want to move slow. If you don't, you're going to bend it. I'm going to show you. Watch. I broke it. You have to move slow turning these because it's a thin piece of metal and you're weakening it. So just be careful doing that. I'll show you once again how to do it slowly and not fast. Take it, hold it together right at the tip here, and then just move slow. And you're good. There we go. All right. Then you're going to take your jump ring, get the opening area, and then just twist to open it. That's all you have to do. And then you're going to add your jump ring. then you're going to add your fish hook find in, and then just close it. And there. And then you just have a cute little fun one. And then we have, this one's the cured one, our little studs. So now for these, there's a couple things you could do. I like that we put the texture on, so I don't want to do anything with it. You can gloss this up, you could resin it. There's a number of things you could do, but I'm going to leave them plain. These ones, all I did was sand them and buff them up to give them a little shine. I don't want these shiny, so that I'm not going to do them shiny. But when I hang these ones, I want these completely different than the typical upwards. So I want them to be, let's go like that. I think that'll be cute. It'll be totally different. Take your drill. Actually, you know what? Let's go on the side. I think maybe going on the side would be something different for us. We're going to do sides. I'm going to go right in the middle. Do not go too close to the edge. If you go too close to the edge, you will snap your piece. So don't do it. Now, you could add different types of charms to these. There's so many things you could do, but I just want to go with the basic simple ones. So that's what I'm going to do. You could even add more glitter to them with the resin. Have fun with your pieces, guys. But I really wanted to show you that you could take an easy, simple slab and make multiple different styles with that slab. And I think this is a great way of showing you. So this one was just our chopped up pieces of our leftover. These, I would honestly, if you're going to use your leftover, you could sell these at a market for $5. It took you really no time. You're using up your scrap, and they're cute little things, you know. You can make little studs out of them for the younger ones and keep it simple and affordable to sell more. Now, these, so look at, so these ones, I would say you could, you know, especially these, you know, you put a little bit more time and effort into them, you could charge a little bit more. I would say, honestly, $5 for those, you know. Same thing with these, you know, $5, $10 tops. But these ones that have a little bit more style and, you know, stuff to them, you can get a decent penny for those. But I just wanted to really mainly show you guys that you could do so many different styles, not only with the easy peasy slab, but with the same cutter. I mean, these are all the same cutters. Everything looks great. I hope that you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.